Okay, so how much per month is a full head of hair worth to you? 50 bucks a month?
Oh, I'd easily do 50 a month, but I don't want to... Listen, when I'm dead, I don't want my son paying off my hair debt. 2 times a month, Reed gets a bill, one from my outstanding student loans, and one from Dad's hair. So this is Nosy Jim on the other side.
Nosy Jim would be... The weird thing is, he goes through phases. Like, I won't talk to him for months at a time.
Bliss.
And then pokes his head over the fence and we chat for 15 minutes.
Oh, torture. So I text Brother Mike, did you ever do the whiskey on the gums with the boys when they were younger? Yeah. On my gums.
There he is.
Booze stunted the comedy bones. A little whiskey. Bye-bye funny.
Oh, boy. Rough day today. Rough start.
Yeah, that's, well, what are we? We're only...
About 4 hours later than... No, 5 hours.
5 hours later than normal.
5 hours later than we normally do this.
Yeah.
Get this out of the way. It is Sunday, October 13th, 2019, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast. And,
been out and about today, Steve.
you know, your prediction, which started probably a month... No, maybe 2-3 months ago at this point, of... that the holiday season would be the end of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I've fought it every time you've said it.
Sure.
I've said, nope, not a chance. We're going to forge through. We're going to make this happen. So about 6 o'clock this morning, as I was driving the dog to the emergency vet, I thought, maybe Kyle's got a point. Maybe he's got a point.
Because we're at a phase to where... Right now is honestly, it's probably still a little bit easier than what it will become. But if we, for whatever reason, we couldn't record today, now tomorrow I have to be home by a certain time, so my wife can go to a dentist appointment followed by a workout class she has scheduled, and it's like
we got our commitments,
and so we wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't even be able to get over here until about 6. So if it didn't happen today, tomorrow would have been very, very difficult.
Yeah.
And this is, honestly, with half of us, you, still having Annette home, so we don't really have to worry about, hey, where's little
Baby.
Evelyn?
Yeah, exactly. This is, for right now, during this time frame, my life is fairly similar to how it was before the baby was here.
Yeah.
Because everybody keeps saying to me, are you getting any sleep? And I'm getting the same amount of sleep at the same time that I always got. Because of my schedule, I get up early as it is. So if I get up at 3 o'clock or 3:15, hop in the shower and go to work, that's exactly the same as getting up at 3:15, giving the baby a bottle for 20 minutes, changing her diaper, taking a slightly shorter shower, and then going to work. Like, it's pretty much the schedule that I work lends itself very well to having a baby.
Right. That's worked out thus far to where it's a easier, not easier, but it's to the point where obviously Evelyn's not crawling around. She's not moving, and most of her day is spent sleeping.
Sleeping, eating, pooping, that's it.
And obviously that changes.
Sure.
But for the time being...
For the time being, things are unchanged. But let me make that clear. For me. Things are unchanged for me. My wife's world is... It's completely topsy-turvy because she's not working, so that's already throwing her schedule completely off. She's getting up at all hours because the feedings, there are certain things that I cannot do.
Right.
And
you can be there, but you're not...
Right.
I'm not a lot extra that you can assist with.
I'm not equipped to handle certain things.
If you thought about... maybe making signs like you're at a sporting event, cheering her on.
Go.
Yeah.
Hit the ball.
Maybe, when you could tell it's about to wrap up. Ha! 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 Yeah!
do the wave.
Oh.
I can do the wave.
Yeah, you, and then you pick up one of your sleepy dog's paws.
Yep.
I'm just saying, there's ways that you can be a supportive father, Steve.
And I'm assuming that's what you did.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I went to the concession stands, got us some corn dogs.
Yep. Popcorn,
went
of course.
back, sat in my stadium seat and observed. And
why do you guys have a stadium seat in your nursery? Well, let me tell you.
Cheered on the home team.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So just generally being helpful, Steve.
I'm trying to carry my weight, do my part, and make things easier on my wife, make the baby happy. And to be honest, I feel kind of useless at this point. There's only so much I can do,
Right.
Like, oh, the baby's fussing. Okay, no problem. I'll, carry her around and bounce her a little bit and try and get her back to sleep, give her the pacifier. And but yeah, so this weekend, other than a massive fountain of feces being sprayed across the nursery onto our brand new carpet and having to clean that up at about 5:30 this morning, like spot bot and all. Like, I'm out there scrubbing the carpet and using the carpet shampooer. Other than that, baby she's fine. She's just like, she wakes up every couple hours. She wants to eat. We feed her. Yeah.
Boy, a real allegory for this podcast, huh? Just fountain of feces.
Fountain of feces.
Most of it ended up on the carpet. Not a lot of it ending up on listeners' ears.
No. I would equate the walls of the nursery to the listeners' ears, like a little speck here and there, like just enough where you take the Clorox wipe and you go swink and you wipe it off.
Yeah, and hope that you got it before.
Yeah.
But hey, we love our listeners.
But yeah, exactly. We mean that with the utmost respect.
Oh, absolutely. We're not comparing you to the feces.
No, that would be rude.
You're the wall that the walls that this feces is
stuck to.
As Steve put it, getting a speck on here and there.
Yeah. Our listeners are our feces walls.
So outside of that, a pretty typical Sunday morning for you early on.
Things have been great. So, we have to rewind to yesterday in the afternoon. We had let Toby out in the backyard. Toby's our 1.5-year-old beagle mix.
Yep.
And he's a beagle in every sense of the word. He uses his nose to sniff out everything. Every time he comes back from being out in the yard, he's got something in his mouth. Typically, it's a stick or a ball that he found out there. Because I've talked about it before, the back part of our yard is all like ground cover, like ivy type stuff.
Oh, it's wilderness.
Yeah.
There's things back there living and not.
That deck, I found a deck back there.
Found a deck.
I found an exercise bike. We had lived here 1.5 years before I discovered that there was, calling it a stack of firewood is not doing it justice, because it's 5 feet tall, 20 feet long, a stack of firewood back there that we had just never noticed before.
They'd just been chopping for years, obviously prepping.
Yeah, or they had cut down, I think they had cut down a tree.
No wood stove here.
No. Now, I know that by saying this, it makes it seem like we're on some massive expanse of...
I've tried to make this clear to people. We're at the Steve estate.
Right.
I have to get let in by William the butler.
Yeah.
And that's just to get onto the Zac. Okay?
The Zac, that's the apostrophe ZAC.
Yes.
That's what we refer to as the cul-de-sac.
And that's not even getting into the manor here.
Yeah.
Okay? And then, I mean, you think it's bad in movies and TV shows. I've got people inspecting the bottom of my shoes. Got people making sure I meet the standards just to get in here.
Now, like I said, whenever Toby goes out there, he always comes back with some kind of treasure. Most of the time, it's completely harmless. Toby, drop the stick before you come in the house. No problem. He drops it. Yeah. Well, he came back to the door yesterday in the afternoon, and he had something in his mouth. And Annette had been standing out on the deck just watching him. because he had escaped from the yard last week. He escaped from the yard again yesterday. Like, not in the same spot. This dude was so motivated, he just tunneled under the fence, completely under it. Man. So that's a whole other problem that I have on my hands now.
Oh, wow.
That I have to take care of.
Now, I know you're rational. You think things through.
Yeah.
You, like we talked about with the generator.
Generator's on its way.
You're getting full home backup. So you've obviously already looked into the invisible fence.
No, we haven't.
Get that whole thing. So
I've done nothing. I've done nothing because of what happened
next
directly following this. Toby came back up on the deck, and he had something in his mouth that, honestly, it looked like just a big clump of dirt. About the size of a softball, probably.
Yeah.
Brown and just dirty. So I hear Annette. I'm sitting inside. I got the baby asleep on my chest, which, side note, is the greatest thing in the world. Love it. Absolutely love it. So I hear her, Toby, no, Toby, drop it, Toby, drop it. And look over there. So she opens the door a little bit. And she's like, get Toby's collar. So we have the little the training collar. So the plan was put the collar on him and then let him ride the lightning till he drops that thing out of his mouth. But to be fair, just so you know, we use the vibrate function. We don't use the shock function.
We're not here for the
no.
You shouldn't do that.
Whatever. Crowd. I love the term "ride the lightning."
Yeah, well, absolutely. Because you got a guy, woo, and he just starts zipping around the yard, and maybe he actually enjoys, the rumble against his neck.
Maybe he does. So I went outside, and just as I'm walking out with the collar, he dropped whatever it was that was in his mouth. Well, he dropped half of it. He was then consuming the other half.
Sure.
So this, like I said, looked like dirt, but maybe some kind of poop dirt hybrid. And like a cross section of it looked like if you were to cut like a husk of corn in half. Like it looked like the consistency of corn on the cob in the middle of it. Very strange. Very strange. So he finished eating it, finished his meal, and brought him inside. What do we do? The thing eats poop all the time. He eats sticks. He's obviously got an iron gullet.
This is a dog who's brought you flower pots,
right.
Shingles.
Yes.
He's probably the one who found that. What'd you say it was the ghost bike, an exercise bike?
Yeah, the exercise ghost bike.
Oh, an actual Boy, I'm sorry, Steve. It's the spooky season. I assumed you meant an exorcised bike, meaning the bike
no.
had a demon attached to it.
No, we just have a very health conscious ghost that lives in our backyard.
So I was going to say, if you exorcise a demon from a bike and you just throw it into your backyard, you need to take better care of your now hopefully demon-free exercise equipment.
Right. Yeah. So again, this dog eats anything. So I didn't think twice about it. I was like, that sucks. He just ate more crap. Whatever. He eats his own crap on a regular basis.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? Fast forward a couple hours, we're sitting in the house. Again, I'm holding the baby. Annette's doing something in the other room. And I hear that sound that every pet owner knows very well. It's the and I thought, oh God, this is bad. Where is he?
Oh man.
Looked around. So he's across the living room from me. So luckily, he's on the hardwood because I just want to know how big of a mess is this going to be for me to clean up. Hardwood, no problem. Scoop it up, couple paper towels, Clorox wipe, we're good to go. It's not ideal, but whatever. So I look down and I see him barf it up, and I'm like, all right, well, he barfed. Maybe he'll finally learn his lesson.
That'll teach him.
That'll teach him this time. He finally had a bad experience. Barfed it up. I'm like, oh, crap. Put the baby in her little bouncer, get my paper towels, clean it up the whole time, like mumbling to myself. Clean it up, take it, throw it out, let the dog outside, kind of keep an eye on him. He seems fine. He's out in the backyard just prancing around doing his thing.
Looking for another clod
yeah.
to munch on.
I let him back in. Fast forward 15 minutes, and he was sitting basically right against the front of the couch. So I couldn't see him from where I was sitting because he was directly in front of me.
Okay.
Like where my feet would be, but I had my feet out. And I hear Annette go, "No!"
Oh, no.
And then I just hear that, like, that wet...
Didn't even get the build up this time.
This was like the wet pile landing sound. I looked down and I saw the biggest pile of vomit I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, no!
Like, I would say it was about 8 inches across.
Okay.
Probably about 5 inches wide.
Yep.
And like a solid 4 inches deep. Like it was a legitimate brick of vomit. It was disgusting. It took Annette, oh, by the way, and it was on the carpet. It was on the little area rug that we have. It took Annette and I each 3 trips from the spot, like the spot of the crime, to the garbage can, like scooping up.
Could have fixed it for you.
To clean it all up.
Could have fixed it.
Roll up the carpet, throw it out.
Roll up the rug.
Oh, that's next.
Throw it on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Say free carpet. Also must take, one item from treasure trove in backyard.
Right.
Whatever.
So we finally get this cleaned up. This happened 2 more times. He total barfed solids 4 times, and then liquids, I don't know, another 3 or 4 times, including one time this morning. So he was wrecked.
Just fighting it, man. Yeah.
He was down for the count for the rest of the night, was just laying on the floor, shaking. And I was like, last night I said, we need to do something. I want to take him to the emergency vet. So we called the emergency vet, and they weren't a ton of help, but I don't blame them. They couldn't be a ton of help because they said, unless we know what he ate, we can't, we can't really recommend what the next step is,
right?
Except if he keeps throwing up, bring him in. So we got up this morning. He seemed perfectly fine. He's in his crate, just kind of looking up at everybody. Now, normally we open his crate and he's like, "Whoa, time to start the day," because the first thing they do is eat every day. I opened his crate. He just laid there. I was like, "That's weird," and he was very standoffish. If I got too close, like very territorial about his crate. I'm like, okay, no big deal. Brought his food upstairs, put it in his crate, wanted nothing to do with it. We finally coaxed him out of his crate. Annette took him downstairs. He wouldn't drink, he wouldn't eat. So she took him outside thinking, okay, maybe whatever it is, it's still in his system. Maybe if we can get him to pass that, he'll be good to go. And he went outside and threw up again. So came back in, and I was like, all right, I'm taking him to the animal hospital. So I loaded him up in the car, and once we walked outside. As soon as he was outside, he was like, hey, all right, this is pretty cool.
Maybe time for a walk, huh?
Put him in the back of the car, and then the whole time, because he's all the way in the back, behind the back seat, and we have like one of those pet cage barrier things just to keep them back there.
Yeah.
So if the dogs are ever in the car at the same time as Evelyn, they're not just sitting there licking her face the whole time.
Right.
So I'm driving, and the whole time I'm just like looking in the rearview mirror every 2 seconds, like, Toby, just wait. Wasn't popping his head
Just
up.
laid down.
So by the time I'm 2 minutes from the vet, I'm convinced. I've convinced myself the dog is dead in the back of the car.
Right. Worst case scenario. For sure. Obviously, he's not better. Yep. Yeah. No,
I thought for sure that he was dead. So finally, I'm sitting at a red light. Toby. And I just see his little head pop up, and I'm like, thank God. Okay. Get to the vet, and I unload him. I tell them the whole story. And in the meantime, we had gone outside and found the other half of the chunk that he hadn't consumed yesterday. Took that in there, hoping that they could figure it out. So they looked at it, and they were like, we don't know what it is. So they ended up doing x-rays, giving him an anti-nausea medication, and then giving him some fluids.
Yeah.
They wanted to keep him all day to give him more fluids. And when they told me what the cost of that was going to be, I mean, I felt terrible. I sent Annette a text. I was like, I feel like a terrible dog owner but I can't.
But there's nothing.
I can't pay $1,700
right.
for you to keep this dog for 15 hours. It's just like we were there for 2 hours and it was over $500.
That's crazy.
And it was.
And there's.
I mean, I look, if that's what it costs, then that's what it costs. I'm glad that they did. The bulk of that was the X-ray. They wanted to make sure that there wasn't any obstruction.
Yeah.
That there wasn't an issue. So look, if that's how much it is, then fine. But I said to them, I was like, I can't do that. Mm-hmm. I can't just do that. So I said to them, I was like, what can we do at the house? What can I do at home that will replicate what you're doing here? And we'll get him to, if he's still feeling like this tomorrow, I'll take him, I'll call his regular vet and take him there where the prices are a little more reasonable. And so luckily the woman, she was very adamant. She was like, let me at least give him some fluids. So, because he may not want to drink, but I'm going to so she gave him, I forget what she called it, like subcutaneous fluids or something, where they basically inject it like under their skin and then it, over time it absorbs.
Release. Okay.
So when we left there, he had this big, he looked like a wrestler or a boxer who had just been punched and he got like a big grapefruit.
Yeah, big hematoma
on
his
it was
neck.
ridiculous. I'm petting it. I'm like, this is weird. So got him home and he's just been crashed on the couch.
Oh.
Managed to get him to eat some food, which was nice. He took maybe 3 or 4 sips of water, which was, not enough, but yeah, so that all in the middle of all that, I sent you a text saying, yeah, I might have to push things back a bit today.
Right.
Things are a little rough right now.
Yeah, and that's why, even if the podcast doesn't end, and all joking aside, you and I haven't sat down and discussed, hey, we should end this.
Yeah.
There may be, in time, a week where we just don't have an episode. Mm-hmm. I appreciate our streak of 160 whatever we've had in a row.
Do you think there's a podcast that talks more about the end of the podcast than this one?
Yeah, but just think about the grand send-off we're going to have.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about it so much.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what a bash.
Going to be a big to-do. Big party.
Yeah, that may come up, just so everybody's forewarned. I don't think it's in the near future, but listen, things come up. Toby eats balls of who knows what, and you spend the morning in an animal vet.
God.
Scheduling issues come up.
Dude,
so
this is, like everyone kept saying, like, oh, your life's about to change when you have a baby. And I'm like, what? I thought that the baby was supposed to be the one that changed things.
Well,
not
Steve,
the stupid dog.
I speak for the listeners when I expect an update on Toby via social media, if possible. Next few days, so everybody can be
definitely.
If I know this audience, they're going to care more about Toby than the talk about the end of the podcast that we just had.
Yeah,
and I don't blame them.
A picture of Toby, like curled up in a little ball, in his bed, will get hundreds of likes.
Certainly,
there will be hashtags, prayers for Toby.
Yeah,
get well, Toby.
Yeah, and then 6 weeks later, the question: hey, did you guys stop doing the podcast?
Yeah, about a month ago.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Cool, I can finally free up some space on my phone.
I've been meaning to delete these old things anyway. Now I know I don't have to catch up.
Man, oh man.
Well, my goodness, Steve.
Hell of a morning so far.
Well, quite a difference from our last Sunday, where we had a pretty standard podcast we did in the morning. Mm-hmm. I had mentioned to you I was chit-chatting with you and Annette on the way out. Mentioned, all right, well, I got to get going. We're headed out to the orchard. Going to go
the apple orchard.
Grab some apples, maybe some cider, do a corn maze, whatever.
And Annette said, actually, both me and Annette said, like, oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, if I remember right, it was more like, like we'd be caught dead there. And then about a half hour later,
we did not. We definitely did not.
I believe I got a text like a half hour later, coming back around.
No,
I think Annette's still working on Michiganizing you to make this, maybe a part of the fall routine.
Annette was all. She loves that stuff.
Oh, sure.
And especially after being pregnant for 9 months,
you can't do anything.
She wants to go out and do stuff every now and then. Now,
right.
Crazy as it sounds. So
we were able.
Yeah, she was like, after you left, she was like, oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. And I was like, I can text Kyle, see if they're. See what the plan is.
Right.
And originally, you guys were planning on leaving pretty much right away, but we just had to feed the baby and
already being a hassle.
Yeah, I know, right? Had to feed her, change her diaper. Apparently, you got to do that like every day.
Oh my God, it's so needy. It's ridiculous. So not to get in the way of the feel good portion that we were able to have a family outing. Myself, Katie, and Reed came out. You, Annette, and Evelyn came out and
couple daddy-os.
Did the events. Couple dad bags. We compared our dad bags and all the dad pouches.
Which
in
one
those
do you
dad
have?
bags. That's Eddie Bauer. Or no, it's Kitty Care.
Yeah, I got the Eddie Bauer.
I got the
EB.
Yeah, they took a break from outfitting jeans for fathers.
Yeah.
And customizing trucks.
Yep, I bought it. I got it for free when I bought my Bronco back in the 90s.
Lifetime warranty. Can't beat it.
On both the bag and the Bronco.
Bronco's still cruising somewhere out there.
Yeah.
But the only reason that this comes up is because when I send you the intro every week, occasionally if there's anything that I want to get to, I'll throw a few notes in. And it doesn't take long for this stupid thing that we do here every week to somewhat infiltrate our outside lives. We've talked about, sitting out by a fire a couple of years ago, and we somehow got to talk about how we wanted to buy a constellation or something stupid.
Was it a constellation or a star?
Maybe it was just a star, but we wanted it to be...
What was that guy's name? Rocky Moselle with the star registry?
Yeah, and that was all because I unexpectedly decided to take a run at people who discovered constellations.
Boy, none of this sounds familiar.
And I believe I mentioned something about, like, Jack O'Halligan's shoe or shoelace, something like that, being one of the whatever.
Right? Yes,
but it's just a matter of time.
That. And I need to do a search for that because
there's got to be a note somewhere provided about how we wanted to buy a star. But but we digress. I'm just saying that this show, what we do here, infiltrates our lives outside of here, and to that degree, I apologize to both Annette and to Katie, because we were at the Orchard for maybe 25, 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. We just sat down at a large picnic table and indulged in some donuts, and what is among the first conversation topics out of our mouths, Steve? You and me, like a couple of sports talk radio hosts but for dumb things, are placing fruit into tears.
Yes. By the way, if you go back to June 19th of 2018, one of the bullet points was Kyle wants to buy a bunch of stars in our name. I don't know. Maybe listen to it and let us know why. June 19th.
There has to have been some scheme behind it.
2018. Like some get-rich-quick scheme. We'll make millions.
I believe I was going to buy a bunch of stars and make my own constellation.
Did they let you do that?
What are they going to do? Tell me no?
I bet that this is almost word for word what we talked about, 16 months ago.
Yeah. So there we are, and the only two people, and by proxy, I even apologize to them. Who else is jumping in but Katie and Annette? And before you know it, we're mid-debate about what tier an apple falls into.
Yeah. Yeah, that all happened. What was the sticking point? What was the point of contention? Was it apples?
Apple was the main one.
Yeah.
And then, because you would not put an apple in tier 1. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was blasphemy.
Yeah.
Just blasphemy.
No.
I think...
Give me a good peach.
Oh, God, no, don't you dare. Don't you dare say a peach is better than an apple.
How about a grape? I love grapes.
So, first question on the poll.
But where we did kind of agree was that oranges, while fantastic, it's the stringy, pulpy crap.
It's that
knocks them down to like a tier 2.
It's a tier 2 or or high tier 3.
Yeah.
So that'll be the first question on the poll this week. Don't let me forget. I'll post that. Actually, I'll post it right now.
Yeah.
What would you prefer, a peach or an apple?
Oh boy,
I think you're going to come out on the losing end.
I think I am too. But you know something? Sometimes everyone else has to be on the wrong side of history. And I'm okay with being on the right side of history. I'm okay with that.
Uh-huh. Sometimes the massive amount of a majority is on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there we are arguing about that.
Of course.
And it's before we were even tiering apples and tiering fruits at a picnic table at an orchard while everybody else is talking about a hayride and whatever.
Yeah.
We're all up at the stand where you get the fresh made donuts and all your
just fantastic
concessions and stuff.
So good.
And there's 4 of us, and 3 of us order cups of hot cider.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the 4th jackass order?
The only natural go-to when you're eating delicious donuts. That is hot chocolate.
A cup of hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And that, you know what? I enjoy hot chocolate, Steve. I am not going to sit here and rant against hot chocolate.
You're not?
Because I enjoy it. But you're at an apple orchard with homemade cider.
Yeah, apples aren't that great,
And
though.
what? I don't remember verbatim, but I'm sure you can think about a general idea of what you think about apple cider.
It's hot garbage. It's just not good. I mean, come on. It's not. Look,
the next question on the poll.
as a very wise man once stated, sometimes everyone else is on the wrong side of history. And again, I'm okay with being the lone soldier on the correct side.
Boy, oh boy. I certainly hope you can make it up the stairs.
I mean, some call me a martyr. I don't know. That's not for me to decide.
Again, I really hope you can make it up the stairs with that cross on your shoulders that you've now apparently decided you have to carry. I did try to describe it to you and give you, explain to you that it's a regional, seasonal delight. You had many issues with the regional description.
Because
I would argue the Jersey apple cider that they essentially just go, scoop water out of the Hudson and warm it up is a bit different than what we're doing here in the great state of Michigan.
It's the claim that apple cider is a regional delicacy. They have apples elsewhere.
Not good, though. It's the same as if I went to Florida to get an apple. Like, listen, there's something about a Florida orange, a Georgia peach, a Washington and Michigan apple, a Michigan cherry. All of these areas have fruit that for whatever reason it may be, their region provides the best of. Now, Washington provides the most apples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Garbage apples. A whole lot of them. Garbage. If you're going to give me a Washington apple, it better be in liquid form and booze. Okay? Because the Washington apple shot is a shot for a grown-ass man.
Well, they are number 1 for apples.
Yes, they produce the most.
Followed by?
It's got to be Michigan.
Followed by New York.
Do they really? Oh, upstate.
And then Michigan.
Okay.
And Pennsylvania.
And again, if
we're dotting all around all around the great state of New Jersey.
If you want a New York apple or New York apple cider, again, go down to your local, the local Hudson River that you have the access point at with all the motor oil, and just go get yourself a big scoop of that. Garbage. All of it. Garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's Michigan. It's Washington by default. The other 48. And I don't even know if Hawaii and Alaska produce apples.
No, it's at 32 states.
32 states? Man. So, of course,
see, I'm not going to debate this too much.
Okay.
Because the last time I debated something that was very Michigan-centric was when I debated that the best fudge is made here. And then we looked it up and what was it? 9 of the top 10 fudge places were on, not just in Michigan, but specifically on Mackinac Island.
Yeah, some crazy number.
Like something that no one could have predicted.
No.
Other than the one person. I'm sure that you probably thought maybe there'll be 2 places.
Ever.
But 9.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So you're probably safe. So both of those questions are on the poll already at Steve and Kyle on Facebook
I think this
and
is
Twitter.
This is the point where the old pendulum is swinging back in Kyle's favor.
But
look, I'm just going out on the record and saying, vote for Kyle this time. Vote for Kyle.
Okay, I see what you're doing. I see.
The old guy could use one.
Already framing it so next week you can say, see, I helped you out, even though, as we know, these polls are mostly decided in the first 12 hours.
It doesn't matter because no matter what happens, I win. Because if you win, I can say, well, it's because I gave you that gentle nudge. And if you lose, I can say, look, I even told people to vote for you, and they didn't because they suck, because you suck and they hate you. So there.
Well, you really are insulated over there.
Look, as the most brilliant man ever once said,
oh, wow.
Sometimes
Nostradamus.
Everyone else is on the wrong side of history.
Oh, wow. That guy does sound very smart. Very, very smart.
Yeah.
But that didn't end our week of arguments.
It did not. And this one, I'm sorry. This one is maddening to me. So
you sent me a message. It was Friday afternoon.
Yes. Here's the thing. Here, let me paint the picture. On Friday night, or on Friday at midnight, the Breaking Bad movie El Camino was out on Netflix.
Sure.
So earlier in the week, I think it might have been the day before, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. Annette and I, we were like, oh, this will be perfect. It'll be a movie night. Our first movie night with the whole family there.
Yeah.
This will be great. So we planned on Friday night, we were going to watch El Camino. And so on my way home from work, I sent her a text. I said, what movie candy do you want? I'm stopping at the convenience store. Figured pick up some candy, pick up a couple drinks.
Now, we've had a variation of this argument before even. We've
had a variation of every argument.
We tiered boxed candies.
Yeah.
We had the argument about Mike and Ike's that you hate.
Yeah, that is where we decided, or we discovered our complete love for the Chuck E. C. Jr.
The Charleston Chew.
The Charleston Chew.
An underrated candy.
Yeah.
If there ever was one.
I still can't describe exactly what it is.
No.
But it's...
You don't need to. Chocolate covering something delightful. Just
then they...
Chocolate burst.
I don't know why they become... Oh, because somebody sent us a box of Charleston Charleston Chew Juniors.
Uh-huh. They did not send us
or junior
a package of Jewish people.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, happy Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah.
To all of our Jewish friends, Shalom. I believe is what they say. Is that
Mazel Tov?
Mazel Tov. Enjoy your rum springer.
I don't know. I think that's...
Happy New Year to the Jewish contingency of our listening audience.
Well, that's accurate. But
Thank you for tuning in. If there was ever a time we should have talked to our show Jewish friend, it was this week.
Who was that?
We had some listener, Brian Krause.
Oh, yeah.
When we were looking for what I would estimate, probably this exact same discussion, about 1 year ago, we mentioned that we need... At that time, and I'll say it the way we phrase it, and I still think it's okay, a show Jew.
Nope. No. I don't know about that.
Our friend...
I don't know about that, Kyle, who just said that.
Our friend Brian Krause messaged me and said, I will be your reference point. And we have failed to follow up on that.
Yeah,
this week would have...
That's not a surprise.
This week would have been the week we would have... because I'd be curious. So it was Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur, then Rosh Hashanah.
And then Rumspringa.
No, Rumspringa, that's Amish.
But we digress.
You got the wrong ish.
I said... But we digress. Charleston Chews, we got some juniors... moving its way up the boxed candy ladder. Mm-hmm. So you were going to stop at the local store, get yourself some candy for the home movie night Friday night.
Yes. So I sent my lovely wife a text, and I said, what would you like from the store?
Yeah.
Picking up candy. And she said, hold on, I'm scrolling up because I want to find the exact conversation, although I don't. She said, either Swedish fish... Mm-hmm. Or, now the text auto-corrected, and it came through as raisin eyes.
Ooh.
To which I replied with the barf emoji, because that sounds disgusting.
Raisin eyes? Yeah.
And then she said, oh, that was supposed to be Raisinets, which I followed up with 2 barf emojis, because I'd rather eat raisin eyes. I said that my response to her after that was, do they even still make them? Because I thought for sure that they had been discontinued. Because I was vindicated when I couldn't find them at the store that I was at.
Did you go to a gas station?
I did.
Okay. That's surprising. That's part of your standard box candy selection in a row.
Yellow bag.
Yellow box.
Yeah.
Well, yellow, if you're going to the box candy,
Yeah.
It's a yellow box with the chocolate-covered raisins strewn about across the middle of the package. So you decided
that they were garbage, and I was right. The end.
So you texted me.
Nope. The end.
So now this is...
Oh my God, we're 40 minutes in.
Oh, for God's sake, we haven't done anything. We said this was going to be a 45-minute episode. We got 4 minutes to wrap the story up. I still got to
get to Zach's letter they sent me.
Got to get to... There's things that have been on there for months.
It's a boxing class.
So you decided to message me. Now this is... It doesn't get... There's nothing that odd, but it's a bit surprising because you texted me, need some backup here. And throughout this time, you and I were also making fun of, collaboratively, anti-vaccination people. Yeah. And it just so happened...
This worked out.
It just so happened minutes before
you
texted me this, somebody had commented back on your and I's joking around that... Well, anti-vaccination people are dumb.
Your wife had posted an article, I think.
It was like a letter by a nurse of why you should get the flu shot.
Yep. So she reposted it saying, this right here, please read this. This is important. Please read this.
Yeah. So when you said need some backup here, I was like, ooh. Because that used to be the old days of when you were on the informed page, and we'd call the cavalry in to make fun of half of the residents of this town for being dumb.
Yeah.
So my first thing, I don't even know if I finished reading it, and I was opening Facebook to see if I had a notification. Yeah. And then it came in, the other message, that this was in fact simply about you, for the third time this week, being wildly incorrect. So you had said, Annette is trying to tell me that Raisinets are a popular candy. And I tried to slow roll you.
You totally bait and switched. You? Yeah, you totally bait and switched. But in hindsight, I'm not surprised.
Listen.
Because you replied, oh man, Annette, ... You are so right, all capitals. I almost smashed my phone.
The debt will never be paid for the surfer. Ever. Ever. It's going to be impossible.
What happened last week? Wasn't there a surfer like...
Oh, it was something similar. Yeah. Oh, what was it? Boy, that's not surprising. I already forgot 1 week ago. But yes.
Well, that just proves that it was not nearly as good as the surfer.
Not nearly as damaging.
A week later, can't remember it.
And I said, what a delightful candy. If you go dark chocolate, you're in for a real treat. And I exclaimed it as a tier 1 or tier 2 movie theater snack, because as I talked about, I think as our numbers continue to stay stagnant and dive in this podcast endeavor,
are they still dropping?
They've not gone up. I think you and I switch everything we've done, and we do what ESPN has done and Fox Sports, and we embrace debate. You and I, just every week, it's all we do. We do list.
So instead of the Steve and Kyle podcast, we rename it the Steve versus Kyle podcast.
Yeah, and then we just tier everything every week. Different item every week.
Okay.
What's your favorite movie theater candy? What's your favorite color fabric? Carpet or hardwood? Just every week. That's a new argument.
Hardwood's the way to go.
Oh, if you don't go carpet, you're an idiot. Being irresponsible.
Carpet, easy to clean. Or no, hardwood, easy to clean.
I've got a convert. I mean, just terrible for your dogs, even worse for your kids. Enjoy playtime while everything makes noise everywhere. But hardwood's fine.
How's it terrible for my dog?
When they get older, it's harder to walk. You gotta get booties.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to go with the old standby of splinters.
You never know. I mean, it depends on, if you go cheap wood, you go
No.
other nice stuff. I mean, I know you went with the Asian forest stuff that had to displace like a pack of monkeys.
No, bamboo is one of the most eco-friendly woods you can put down.
Well, yeah, that you can put down. I mean,
Yeah.
take it away from a pack of monkeys in their original.
Well, no, but that's the thing.
Neighborhood
It
is
regrows so fast. It grows in like a minute.
Whole tribe of chimpanzees now, have to try to find out how to live out of a river.
First of all, chimpanzees don't live in a tribe.
Because Steve has new floors. Cool.
You're right. I should convert to that eco-friendly carpet you got.
Oh, my God. Tell me how many animals I displaced with carpet. Whew. So you replied, and of course you're anti-raisinette.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I should have known. And this is where you crossed the line.
This was
it.
This is the nail in the coffin for you.
Pure garbage.
Oh, they're disgusting.
I tried to convert you, and again, I'm calm here. You just called it pure garbage.
Yep.
I said they're sensible, easy to eat, and a nice contrast in flavor. You've got the nice milk chocolate on the outside, the chewy center of the raisin.
Contrast of flavor. It's sweet and sweet. Oh. Contrast would be like sweet and salty.
A nice raisin, heavy chocolate coat on it. And again, tier 1, 2.
What are the...
I upgraded, Steve.
What are the chocolate-covered peanuts? They have a name, don't they? Isn't there like an actual candy? But they're not goobers, are they?
I don't think so.
Or goobers.
But I know, like, when you buy them at the grocery store, that's what they're labeled as, just chocolate-covered peanuts, chocolate-covered almonds, or whatever. And you know my opinion on that, Steve.
Goobers, yeah, chocolate-coated peanut. Yeah.
We don't even need to get into that, because you know my thoughts
right,
on
I
those.
know you're anti-peanut, anti-pretzel.
Just a touch.
Just a touch of pretzel.
So if you want to get just a kernel of pretzel
then something I got to get to.
But this will be...
place that right on top.
This will be on the poll as well.
Yeah, we are definitely turning into the Le Batard show.
Yeah.
We just need a man named Guillermo.
Yeah.
Guillermo, put that on the poll.
Yeah, we need a couple more Cubans on staff. A little bit more diversity.
Yeah.
And maybe we can hold a candle.
Yes.
And you said it's not even on your list of honorable mentions, and it just evolved at that point. No. So
I think at one point you kept going, and I just stopped.
Do you just not like raisins?
No, raisins are, tier 4 fruit.
Hard to argue. Did you ever have those when you went to lunch as a kid, and your mom would pack you the little
orange
boxes?
Yeah, or the little red Sun-Maid orange or Sun-Maid raisin box.
What'd you do? You pour them out, eat them one by one, or you just go like a box of nerds, rip the corner open, down the hatch?
No, because a lot of times they were so packed into that box that you'd flip the thing over and they'd come out in a little rectangular chunk, and I would down them just to get rid of them.
But you weren't like plugging your nose or anything. Now you had a co-host who used to eat spinach and have to like ball it up into, less than a fingernail and try to swallow it whole just to eat it. It wasn't to that degree. No.
They're fine. They're like I'll eat them, but like I will never voluntarily go for anything raisin. Okay. Like even an oatmeal raisin cookie.
Awful cookie.
No, just not good.
For me, it's the oatmeal that's the problem there. I don't need oatmeal-based cookie.
See, I like oatmeal. I love oatmeal cookies. Give me an oatmeal chocolate chip. Or there's a bakery around here that has, I think they're called Monster Cookies.
Okay.
And they're like peanut butter, oatmeal, chocolate chip, and M&Ms. And it's one of the best cookies I've ever eaten. It's incredible. There's so much going on in that cookie.
Oatmeal,
yeah.
How do you take the dentures out for that excursion into Flavortown, or you go cinnamon apple oatmeal?
I'm not gonna argue with that. I know that oatmeal is, to put it in my words, not even on a list of honorable mentions for cookies. I get that. It's one of my I have a few quirks. One of them is that I enjoy a good oatmeal cookie.
Huh.
As a brilliant philosopher once said...
Oh, wow. This must be like maybe Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Sometimes everyone else is on the wrong side of history. And you, brilliant one, must stand alone, defending the honor of the brilliant.
Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to post a poll while trying to tune you out simultaneously so I don't have to hear this self-aggrandizing BS. So the newest poll up there is, are Raisinets garbage? Yes or no? Trying to frame one even in your way because this is going to be a rough week.
Really? So you think that... You don't think that Raisinets are going to lose?
I don't think Raisinets lose.
Oh, I think they do.
I think Raisinets are going to... I mean...
I would be shocked if they got more than 30% of the vote.
I know, but another poll... oatmeal's in your cookies. Oatmeal in your cookies, yes or no? Because
I'll lose that one.
Yeah, you should. You should think about what you've done with yourself.
Uh-huh.
How you treat other people. Maybe have some more respect.
So my enjoyment of oatmeal cookies comes down to a lack of respect
For yourself and others.
for myself. Okay.
Oatmeal cookies. So yeah, I the last thing I texted you, and like you said, you just stopped, was where I said, well, you know what? You enjoy your thing of Werther's and Junior Mints.
That-
while I'll be pounding Raisinets and Mike and Ike's. Where do you stand on a Werther's, Steve?
That was possibly the most insulting part of this conversation, because by you saying Werther's and Rolos, you're insinuating that I'm the old man.
Yeah.
Which is fine, unless you go on to say you'll be enjoying or pounding Mike and Ike's and Raisinets.
Man, me and my
Those
bros,
are two of the oldest person candies that there are.
Me and my bros going down the dirt road late at night, box of Mike and Ike's in one hand, box of Raisinets in the other, turning up Warrant.
What life is this? Is that you're,
Fist bumping
we
in
know
the
that
Camaro.
you don't have friends. You've that's one of your proudest accomplishments in your 30 whatever years, is that you have never let anyone into an inner circle.
Before we get to this letter that you have to read, we're not leaving before you do that. Holy crap. I have to tell you, and I tried to recap it to you before we even started recording. Now, I converse with our brother Mike occasionally throughout the week.
You do.
Most of it is sports related.
You talk to my brother more than I talk to my brother.
And it's sports related, it's sports betting, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
are you guys like, hey, what do you think? Should I put money on?
Yes.
Okay.
Occasionally. He sent me a bet last
just
night.
refreshed, and I saw the Texans were
Are
up
you
29.
watching your
24.
scores?
I am. I got a lot riding on this.
So last night, Brother Mike was nice enough to invite me into a group of, I'm assuming, his friends and or coworkers who engage in weekly contests on one of the apps.
Nice. Okay, so
And-
like the daily daily
Yeah,
betting.
and you pay a weekly entry fee and you pick a line, whatever.
How much is it a week?
He didn't specify. It's not much per week to do it. I think
Couple
it's mostly
bucks,
for fun.
$5,
I think it's like
$10?
$5.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought, oh, that's awesome. I'd love to do it. I loaded money in right away, and I could start playing next week as soon as I get the invite.
Have you ever done this before? Like, have you ever used any of those apps before?
Yeah, he texted me about it. Do you do one of these apps?
Yeah.
And I said, I stopped when the reports came out that the winners were like 85% employees of like the other company,
Makes
because they
sense.
all know the algorithms.
Yeah.
So the big winners are all that, and most of those
I'm
games
surprised they haven't merged yet.
they tried to.
Wasn't that going to happen?
Yeah, and I believe it got stopped because it was like FCC, well, not FCC, but the SEC.
SEC, yeah.
And he said, "Well, I'm in a group where I do private," and I said, "Okay, definitely, I'm in." So I'm excited.
So
for it.
so in this group, you're just taking on the other people in the group.
Yep.
It's not
instead of a pool of 150,000 people where, you check and you're like, hey, I'm up 80 cents.
So you guys each throw $10 in. Say there's 10 people.
Yep.
$100 is the pot every month or
sure
every
they
week.
take
but they
10%.
they take their 8%, 10%. Okay.
So that was very nice. Very generous.
Yep.
Excited to do it. I'll join in on that next week.
I must have. Hold on. Check again. Oh God. And
I can't believe we have to have this conversation again for like
through
the
my
second time in like 3 weeks.
text from Mike.
Eventually, I'm going to have him have the conversation with you because
What day did you say you sent that?
This was last night. Yeah. I'm gonna.
last night.
He's going to have the conversation
Oh, boy.
because there's something missing between me
That's
communicating
weird. I
with you.
haven't heard from him since Friday. I'm sure it's just stuck.
Oh, for God's sake, we don't want you there.
That's hurtful. Okay. Wow. I love sport.
I mean, if you had to pick favorite sport, you would have no trouble doing that.
Well, this in the last 2 years, the last 2 NFL seasons, I have followed football.
Yes, you have.
Closer than I ever have.
Yeah, for your side gig.
Yeah,
where you guys do some. You've got to wear pubic hair in your ears. Is that what you guys are doing? Local whack pack.
That's actually one of the stunts. Pube ears.
The pubes come from the winter. Is that what it is?
Now, is it pube ears or pew beers? Do I just go to church and drink beers?
Yeah, both are things for the losers. So this was again very nice of him, and that was the end of our conversation. That was last night about 8:45.
Okay.
There's no communication until 12:02 this afternoon. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, we didn't record like we normally do. Otherwise, this probably wouldn't have even come up because I would have been recording while this football game took place. Mm-hmm. Now, I've talked about it before. I have a real love-hate relationship with fantasy football. And by love-hate, I mean I hate it much more than I ever have even remotely enjoyed it.
I was going to say, you would, because you gave up last year was the first year that you didn't do it.
Yeah, since 2000.
Okay. And partially because your son was weeks away from being born.
Yeah. And two, there's a lot of chasing down people to get a very small amount of money to play in this league that they all have agreed to. Right. It's too much of a headache. And also, for me, it ruins the enjoyment of any football. There's no worse person on the planet and or social media than the guy going, screw him with the concussion. He's on, I need 3 more points.
Yeah.
You're the worst. Take a look at yourself. Stop being you. So I'm not that way.
No.
So at 12:02, out of the blue, your brother Mike's sitting there, and I didn't even realize either. Apparently I was playing him this week in our fantasy league. Oh, honestly, go F yourself. Good effing God. And all I get is about 5 question marks. It couldn't be more out of the blue, and I realize that now. So to Mike, I'm sorry it came out of the blue that way. I don't apologize for what I said.
So you're not apologizing for the sentiment.
Nope. Sentiment holds.
Just the poor timing.
Curtis effing Samuel. Guy is fine, but sure, have a 2-touchdown day against me. This game sucks. I am 100% quitting this season. And he tries to give the old, come on, keep with it. Yahoo says it's 50-50 based on projections. I didn't even know I was playing you. Ha ha. F Yahoo. I hate everything about it. That was,
okay.
3.5 hours ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's just crafting a response.
Yeah. Did the little dots pop up to show that he's replying?
Yeah, they must have gone away then.
Well, I feel terrible for you.
Yeah.
You want to join my fantasy league?
Oh, yeah. What do you got?
Well, it'll just be me versus you every week.
Okay.
But instead of betting on sports, we'll instead post web polls on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay. Oh, boy. Like starting 0-0? Like, so I don't have the losses that I currently have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
maybe we could get...
Clean slate.
Maybe we could get Mike to get you an invite into these.
Oh, no.
These group ones. Yeah.
No, please no.
Yeah, and then
I have to do work.
Come on. You set one line up in the middle of the week. Post to the message board. I don't even know if there's one. Hey, where's Gronkowski nowadays? Show off sports, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is what I do to people who are nice to me. Brother Mike, who was very nice enough to welcome me into a circle of people I don't know, and he obviously said, hey, Kyle would enjoy this, and it would be nice to have him.
Sure. Now, did you have to come up with a team name or anything?
Haven't done it yet.
Kyle's Crushers?
Not invited yet.
Okay.
I've really leaned into, in years past, the fantasy football. I'm really into wordplay.
Okay.
And I'm very good at it. Very good at it, Steve.
Okay. How about the Steve and Kyle podcast?
Yeah, boy. I'll put it on the list. How about that? So to speak to your sentiment of, you don't make friends and you're not very nice to people, Mike, I'm sorry it came off that way. Not 10 hours after 14 hours after inviting me to something, and you just get a, oh, Jesus F.
So we talked at length about candy earlier, and I would be remiss if I did not thank somebody for a wonderful gift that they sent.
Someone?
Well, this was a corporation. Now, also, thank you to so many people who have sent such lovely gifts for the birth of Evelyn Louise just a couple of weeks ago, starting back over the summer. Even got something from Betsy.
Oh, yes.
Last week. It was wonderful. Nice a book about safe sleep and a little sleep sack that promotes babies sleeping on their back.
Yeah, she sent us the same package.
And it was wonderful.
Very nice.
And that sleep sack is nice too.
Back is best, Steve.
I love the Velcro straps on it.
Yeah.
Just really crank down on them.
Yeah.
Baby's
Make
just
sure she's not going anywhere.
She's not moving. No, but thank you very much for that. But I got a letter and a package in the mail from the Lucky Billy Bar, the Steve and Kyle Podcast Confectionery Cooperative LLC.
Always nice to see how our brain trust is doing,
Yeah, I mean, that's because we sold the rights to Lucky Billy a couple months back.
Sure.
Made millions.
Happens.
So this was addressed to Steve, Annette, and Evelyn Louise. Mm-hmm. Congratulations on your new arrival. I know it can't be said enough, but we'll try. The Lucky Billy family is thrilled to welcome your beautiful baby girl into the world. We've included a few small gifts for the new mama and dada and baby.
Very nice.
And I hope that you'll enjoy. Of course, we've included a Lucky Billy onesie, which I believe the plan was to have her wearing that today, so we could take a picture after the podcast.
That's very nice.
Hopefully it fits. My daughter was about the same size as Evelyn when she was born, and she could wear newborn sizes for about the first month or so until a little bit of weight loss, etc. I ordered 3 to 6 month from Redbubble, but they sent a newborn size. So thank you to Redbubble for messing that up. I've also included, now this is the gift for me, I've also included a small toy USPS Jeep for when she gets a bit older.
Hey, that's a toy every kid can love.
Look at that. It's nice.
Look at that thing.
He said, this might be hard for Steve. Hopefully his hatred of the Postal Service will be overridden with his love for Jeeps.
It's undue hatred.
I am still torn. Don't know which way I'm going with this yet.
I can't wait for the first picture. Little Evelyn, racing that thing across the ground, but stopping every 10 feet to obviously deliver mail.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. Is that what she's going to be? A couple weeks? Halloween?
A mail lady?
Mail lady?
No.
Well, they prefer male person anyway. Jesus. So that's not in the cards?
My apologies. No. If I have my way about it, she will not be a postal worker.
Rude.
And finally, as a garbage candy company, we've sent out another bag of garbage candy. This is one of my favorite treats when visiting the UK. But if it doesn't suit your fancy, please don't hesitate to make that garbage human Kyle eat them or throw them in the bin.
Okay.
I've never heard of Maynard's Bassett's Jelly Babies before.
I am in. I'm in on any of these candies, Steve. What do we got?
Annette,
Jelly Babies.
Annette opened one up, and she said, well, that's odd.
Oh!
She said that the taste wasn't terrible, but the consistency way off. So
you might
hold out your paw.
Yeah. Oh, we could just start with one.
Okay.
Hold on. Get your maw in there.
Oh, what is
now what?
It looks like a.
What color would you call this guy?
Brown? I don't know. Dark tan?
Because it's kind of red, kind of gray. Very creepy.
But yeah, these are little gummy babies.
Oh, looks like you got the orange gray.
Yeah.
And I got the brown or red gray.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers to the Jelly Babies.
Oh, that is weird.
All right.
No. How is it wet and dry at the same time in the middle.
Go get a thing of sidewalk chalk and just...
You know what the consistency reminds me of? Like the chunks of, if you're eating a cookie dough ice cream, the chunks of cookie dough, they kind of have that, like, it's almost like a gritty consistency.
But important to say, it's tasty.
Yeah, exactly. This is not great. So there you go. Those are for you.
Huh.
Zach concludes this with, I wish you all nothing but the best through all the ups and downs, late nights, rushes to get out the door on time. Having a baby is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I hope you have the same joy. And since it can't be said enough, congratulations, Mom and Dad. And welcome, baby Evelyn. Sincerely, Zach Ruddock, assistant to the regional manager of marketing, the Lucky Billy Bar. Thank you very much, Zach. That's fantastic. I hope that I'm going to send Annette a text right now and make sure that little Evelyn is in her onesie when we get upstairs, because we got to take a team photo, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Were you still eating? What's that sound? Oh, that's the sound of people hitting stop on the podcast.
These are awful.
They're not good, right?
It took 2.
Here, you want the other half of mine?
Not at all. Throw it in their trash box. Huh. Oh, and realize they had flavors. The red gray is something named Brilliant. The orange gray was apparently named Bumper. I just had yellow gray, which was Bubbles.
So they're not so much flavors as they are
You're
names.
eating kids.
Yeah, Zach, that's weird that your favorite candy is babies.
I like this idea, though, because, and it's not always, the UK or whatever, but you can find crappy candy anywhere.
Yeah.
Like in different areas. If you would like to send us your garbage candy, we would accept and to try on this podcast, because here you and I are, dumber than a box of rocks, Steve, blaspheming Chucky C. Juniors and Chucky
all these
C's
years.
all these years, and all it took was you and I to eat them and realize it's a delectable treat.
That's fantastic.
Now, listen, they're not all winners. You're going to get Charleston Chews. You're going to get Jelly Babies. Okay?
Maynard's Bassett's Jelly Babies.
And Zach, I got to tell you, when you're going to England, find something better to do with your time.
Seriously, you went all the way there? Come on, man. Bring us back something good.
There's one thing I've had. I actually bought a box randomly at, like, an Asian-run sandwich joint in Washington, D.C. They make breakfast sandwiches and lunch sandwiches, and they just had random candy. And I remember I grabbed one because it kind of looked like, what was the old treat we used to have when a kid? Not like chocolate graham cracker, chocolate-filled like graham cracker things. I forget what they were called.
You're not talking Dunkaroos, are you?
No, not the dunking part, but a lot of people know what I'm talking about, and they're very offended.
So it's a little graham cracker with chocolate in the middle?
Yeah. Or yeah. And it
sounds
what
delicious.
Were they called? But you can't find them. So I said these looked similar, grabbed them. I didn't realize they're very popular in England. They're called like Kinder Chocolate.
Oh, Kinder.
Kinder.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's a winner.
Yeah. I've had them before.
And I've legitimately looked on Amazon for these, and I think I'm going to buy a case because it doesn't make sense to just buy, a small
I'll split
bag.
that with you.
Case of this Kinder chocolate hanging out. But yeah, please do. If you have garbage candy you'd like to send us a message. We can tell you where to ship that, and we will try your awful regional candy or overseas candy or whatever. Now we have.
Yeah, I'm always really interested in the stuff where if you're going to a town, like say I've never been to Sioux Falls before.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, you're going to Sioux Falls. You got to try the whatever.
Right.
I want that, but obviously it can't be like perishable. It's got to be something that can be shipped easily.
Right. Don't try to ship us a pasty from the Upper Peninsula.
Hey, this is from Louis Roast Beef Sandwiches.
Now, if you want to ship us cannolis,
oh yes,
in cooler
please.
Boxes,
there has to be a like a freeze dried ship your cannoli company.
I'll pitch
right?
in for shipping. If you tell me legitimately, hey, I've got the best cannoli I've ever had.
Now look, Nikki, I can already hear you typing about how bad those were when we were in Boston. You're just wrong.
You need to understand, Nikki, that you are simply out of line in that regard.
I hope that she at least, like with the with the web polls we were talking about. What was the one where I said I know I'm going to be wrong on that?
Maybe peach or apple. Maybe it was apple. Team apple cider. Yes or no?
Yeah, there was one where I was like, I know I'm going to lose that.
Right.
One. You have to know, Nikki, in your heart that you're going to lose that, right? Like you just know that you're the odd person out. Like everyone else likes it, but it's just not my thing.
Yeah. So what would you?
So Nikki, if you can admit that, I'm willing to forgive the blasphemous comments that you've made about the delicious cannoli.
Listen, the lines out the door speak volumes.
It's got to be good.
People, I could. Oh man, if we didn't spend that entire day shoveling garbage into our faces, I would have had another cannoli, Steve.
The only rough part about that was when, about 6 hours later, the cannoli reemerged from my gullet, landing in a toilet at a rest stop somewhere in the middle of Michigan. But I do not attribute...
The middle of Michigan. Like, middle of nowhere, and you were rocking in your seat, and I was like, you're all good? Boy. No.
What was it, 2 a.m. probably?
Yeah, something about... because we were almost home.
Because we got it, our flight got back at midnight or so.
And we hit the road, so it's... Yeah,
one of the stupidest things we've ever done.
The poll you're referencing was oatmeal in your cookies.
Oatmeal in my cookies,
yes or no?
Nikki, this is your oatmeal.
Yeah, it's eat the oatmeal. Understand you're wrong.
They have oatmeal cannoli?
Oh, my God.
Hold on.
Oh, let me ask you this.
Pause all conversation.
Let me ask you this one thing about oatmeal. One thing, Steve.
Yeah.
Has it ever made anything better? Like you take a cookie, regular, whatever, baked cookie, make it an oatmeal cookie. Does that make it better?
Sure. Yeah.
Really?
So you don't, you're anti, like, you're not going to eat oatmeal for breakfast ever? Like in the little packets?
For God's sake, what else am I going to do? Go lick a sugar cube afterwards and eat a pile of oats for lunch? I'm not a horse.
I like oatmeal for breakfast.
Of course,
I don't have
do.
It much, but the little
guy munching on crackling oat bran for breakfast.
And that bring down the crackling oat bran.
I mean, you are half a horse at this point. You're chewing on oatmeal, crackling oat bran. I know what I'm getting. I know. Well, I'm going to give the idea to whoever on staff has you for Secret Santa this year. It's going to be a hanging sugar cube for your rearview mirror in your Jeep. So if you get a little lackadaisical on the way to work, you just give it a couple of licks and you're all fired up.
That would be really efficient. Imagine how quickly I'd get stuff done.
So no, Steve, I'm never waking up going, oatmeal. No.
When was the last time you had it?
Oh God, 20 years ago, 30 years, 25 years ago. Yeah, Reed has.
I think it might be time to reintroduce yourself. I gave bologna a shot.
Listen, if I'm here next Sunday and you want to warm up a small bowl of oatmeal,
it's fantastic.
I'll eat your mush. Now we going regular. We doing a flavor.
Yeah, you got to go with like the
cinnamon apple.
Yeah, like the maple syrup. Maybe there's like a strawberry one.
They got like a cookie dough one.
Cookie dough oatmeal.
I'm just saying something that actually tastes good.
You know, I'll see what the most exotic flavor of oatmeal.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's your
lemon meringue pie oatmeal.
Boston cream pie oatmeal. That sounds fantastic.
I'm just saying, I don't think oatmeal has never improved anything. And just for posterity, I'm going to put that on the poll too. Has oatmeal ever made anything better?
Oh man, our own gear.
Oh, I love it.
That's fantastic. I think that given the right oatmeal, you'd be on board.
Here's what we're doing next Sunday. Next
oatmeal taste test.
This is a reason to tune in. Steve.
Yeah.
You're going to be having some hot apple cider.
Okay.
Me. I'm going to have to jam some oatmeal in my mouth.
So, spoiler alert, this is how it's going to sound. I'm going to... Okay, yeah, it's not bad. How's the oatmeal?
No, it's like mush.
Okay. Well, time for the Fast Five, I guess.
That's it. Boy, show planning. Already done.
Show plans itself, man.
Oh, my God. It's
all
easy.
we do is debate foods,
Stay tuned for your local list next week, where we're going to tier something. I still think we just play into podcast tropes, and we do list radio in terms of like what we do on sports radio, and then the next week we talk about a murder.
Yeah. Oh, murder's really hot.
Murder's real hot right now.
A lot of people talking about murder.
You and I just read off a Wikipedia entry of whatever. Now I know I've offended people with that when I said it in the past, but I'll say it again. I don't care because they're never going to hear it. My Favorite Murder is the dumbest podcast in America.
That's the one you've told me about that before. Where they literally just open up Wikipedia.
That's the way it seems.
Do they even have like spooky music in the background?
No. It's two women in someone's apartment with a cat meowing half the time, and so one of the ladies, stop it, go, like whatever, cat,
Mr. Fluffles.
Yeah, but they sell out theaters.
It's got to be all middle-aged women, right? There's no question. It's no doubt their prime audience is middle-aged women who have an abundance of those wooden signs in their house that say live, laugh, love, and something about wine. Oh, what is this? Looks like we got you a little bowl of crackling oat bran.
So,
thank you, dear.
Oat bran.
Yeah.
Where's the... Hang on. If you could just be quiet for a second, Steve. Is it supposed to crackle now or later?
No, it crackles when you bite into it.
Okay, so like Pop Rocks?
Yeah. Boy, now remember, this is about a year old.
Do you want it to be soggy? Do you want like the crunchy?
You want there to be some grit to it. Go ahead, dig in.
Because that is what
get yourself
people say.
At least 3 or 4.
Yeah, we got 3 oat brands.
Hold on.
3 brands. 3 oats.
3 or 4 crackles.
I got 3 crackles.
Okay.
Mixed with a little bit of milk. Now, what type of milk is this? Because that could easily sway my opinion. You go whole milk. You go 1%.
No, it's probably 2%.
That's the best milk.
Yeah.
Let's dig in here. Tastes a year old.
What do you think?
It's not like...
How's the flavor? Tastes like little cookies, right?
Yeah, but... cookies.
Your stool will never be firmer.
It's not like crunchy like you can get when you normally crunch. It's like a crappy crunch.
You heard it first, folks.
I can't even... Hang on. Maybe it's the second bite. That's what really kicks in when it crackles. All right, 3 more crackles worth of crackling. That's awful.
No, it's not.
So the flavor... Let me describe the flavor to you. Not terrible. Again, if I'm looking at this, and next to it is a box of Lucky Charms...
Well, yeah,
whatever.
It's obvious that the
they're already talking about a tier 3 or tier 4
the target audiences are a bit different.
Like this should be positioned directly next to the Fiber One boxes.
Oh, it is. It 100% is.
Huh. You know what? Better than I thought.
I'll take that.
Still awful.
I'll take that as. But look, you're digging back in.
Try 3 more crackles.
Do you think we're the #1 podcast for eating too close to the microphone?
Yeah, nobody does as bad as us.
Or is it as good as us?
Or as good. Huh. Nobody eats as good as us close to the microphone, which is bad.
Yeah.
We're bad at this.
Covering the whole spectrum. So not as bad as you thought.
Yeah.
It's kind of sweet.
A little bit sweet. I'm turned off by the crunch, and I'm trying to reserve my opinion based on that it is horrifically outdated.
I'll have to try some and see.
Yeah.
Because I've had it before, so I'll know what the consistency is. Now, if I try it and I say, yeah, it's a little bit stale, is that going to adjust?
I think it would, yeah, because if that cereal is crunchy, because it's not crunchy, it's just hard right now.
It is.
And that's not
a great
what
way
I was
to describe
hoping
it.
for.
It is a hard cereal.
In that bite, that's not what I was hoping for. So, well, that was a delight. Thank you, Annette. I mean, I hope you didn't abandon Evelyn for that.
Stay tuned for next week when we try oatmeal.
And apple cider.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. The exotic foods. Oatmeal.
This is weeks after we tried bologna.
It's all coming up next week.
And then
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
we're not that far removed from peppermint patty taste test. What the hell are we doing here, man?
Oh, man. Are we doing Fast 5 this week?
Let's run. Let's
all right,
run
so
through it.
we want to do a Fast 5.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Halloween music. Like the monster, you turn
the
it on, you
the
got a
Monster
little
Mash?
you got a playlist right now? Seasonal?
I don't mind it though. I'm not anti Halloween music.
You're on board.
Is there a lot though? You got
No,
Monster
I
Mash.
think a lot of people do it and like interpret like Love Potion number 9, Black Magic Woman, things like that. It'll
okay.
wind up being played a lot more. But
no,
really,
no
it's
problem with it.
Really, it's what Monster Mash, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and the Monster Mash. I mean, the Monster Mash is stupid.
It's so dumb. I love it when those first few notes hit.
Do you remember when that dude? It's Bobby Boris Pickett.
Oh God, yeah! Did he make a climate change?
He made,
one?
it was called like Climate Smash. And it was one of those songs where he just tried to fit way too many lyrics into the meter of Monster Mash.
When carbon emissions are way too high. You could have written that for him.
It's not good. By the way, somebody tweeted a screenshot. I think it was the brothers Humphrey, one of them, or somebody who's going back and listening to our whole catalog, and they tweeted the screenshot of the time when you were singing, like the exact timestamp of when you were doing the Macy Gray karaoke, which to me is still one of the funniest moments.
Our karaoke is legendary.
Oh no, not till November, right?
Yeah, no, we got a few weeks. We're okay. Trust me.
I was about to.
That's top of the episode when it happens. But
like it was last week.
We digress.
Oh yeah. Well,
Shepard Smith.
That was a shock.
Weird, right? Something fishy feels.
Something up.
Feels fishy,
right?
Yeah. Simone Biles.
Oh yeah, she's now like the winningest, or has the most medals ever.
Yeah,
of any.
Yeah, the most decorated United States gymnast of all time now after this past week.
Good for her.
El Camino.
It was great. It was really, really great. Did you watch it?
Oh, Steve. Oh yeah.
You watched it like
we didn't get to it, but yeah, I sent that note over. Woke up at 4:30 on Friday morning.
Did you really? And so you watched it before you went to work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, the alternative is get home in the afternoon and watch minutes at a time until Reed starts deciding that he wants to do his popcorn popper on the ground that makes a lot of noise. And
okay.
Kind of takes it away, something I wanted to watch in the moment and be involved in it throughout.
Yep.
Watched it, loved it.
Okay.
And lastly, Steve, I don't know if I doubt you can help pronounce this. MacLeod Kipchoge?
Don't know what that is.
The ran a marathon under 2 hours yesterday.
Yeah, 1:59:40.
Yeah, unbelievable,
and no one will care.
No,
that's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know, marathon running is not. It's not a very interesting sport,
right? Average of 4 minutes 30 seconds for 26.2
miles. Yeah. Now he had obviously a huge team of pace runners,
right?
Where they would hop in every. I'm assuming they switched out every couple of miles, where you'd have a group of 4 or 5 pace runners with him, and they would.
Are they like hype men? So when they're,
I bet,
because if Elliot, and again, apologies for not knowing how to pronounce that.
He's a Kenyan runner, right?
Yeah, Kenyan or Ethiopian, but if he falls behind, those pace runners like, hey, come on, let's go. Is it kind of like that, or is it just well, sorry? Because
I've run races before where they have pace runners. Now I'm not with the now. Like
are they holding flags
at a marathon? Yeah,
okay.
A lot of time. I mean, depending on the marathon, but yeah, like I've run the Disney marathon before, so you'll see people staged up. Now that race also has 30,000 people running it, so they stage you based on what your anticipated finish time is, so you don't get this bottleneck of people stopping to take pictures with Mickey Mouse running with the people who are running a 5-minute mile. But yeah, they'll have pace groups where the pacer will have a sign that says 6:30. Or 7:30.
But they don't have a pace runner for world record?
No, I don't think they have anyone.
Okay.
No.
Because that would be, one, ridiculous to keep up.
Man, how fast, or for how long could you keep up a 4.5 minute mile pace?
Well, so 4.5 minute mile, that means the average speed is 14 miles per hour you're running?
I'm not sure because it would be something like
14,
that.
28.
The way that I look at it in my head is that if you're at a standard track, it's 400 meters or 400 yards or I don't know. But it's 4 laps around that track. That means you have to do a lap in 1 minute and 7 seconds.
Because I'm thinking about, boy, that would be an interesting test to go on the track.
Do you think you could do like a half a lap, which would be an eighth of a mile? Could you do an eighth of a mile at world record pace?
We're so running, let's call it 14 and a half miles an hour.
For 30 seconds, 40 seconds?
I feel like that short of a span, yes.
I think, yeah.
But again, if you start talking to me...
Yeah, you just multiply that by 104.
Boy, doesn't this does that give you the itch, Steve?
To start running again?
Yeah. Huh?
This is always the time of year that I do kind of get the running itch. Yeah. I would start training in usually August.
Go put the old New Balances on. Maybe take one outside when we get done here.
Those things are probably dry rotted by now.
Huh? Yeah, you can go do it. You got a big neighborhood.
I do.
You could carve your own path.
I could.
Go do...
Maybe I'll do a lap around the block once we're done.
Yeah, there it is. Well,
strap the baby to my chest.
Yeah, scoot season's done.
Scoot season's over.
So now you got to get...
I got to put the scoot back in the shed.
0 official trips this year?
On the scoot?
Yeah.
No, I took it for a couple trips.
Oh, you did after
rides.
you finally got it fixed.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Good.
Probably put 12 miles on it this year.
Hey, whoa, well, I apologize. Before that, El Camino, the movie, the Breaking Bad movie.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Really good.
Now, I really enjoyed it.
There were many points where I was like, oh, boy, don't remember who that is.
Oh, really?
Like when they showed, no spoiler here, but there's a point where you see a letter.
Oh, yeah, at the end?
And I was like, don't know who that person is. Had to Google it.
It helped that I rewatched the entire show over the last month.
Yeah.
So obviously all that was really fresh. So,
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Like I when I talked to a couple of people about it, I liked it. It wasn't necessary. That was my first thought.
So you were content with how it ended?
Yeah, because outside of a few flashbacks, which were okay, but I was so much more interested in a continuation and to see what. And it really was. It was just a continuation of the story. But we didn't we didn't jump a lot of squares in this hopscotch game. It was more of we got from step 1 to 2, and then there was a sidetrack, so A, B, and then back on.
There was one point where I never even looked it up, but I didn't recognize somebody that I should have recognized, and he actually made reference to it. The character actually said, "I was wondering how long it would be."
I don't think you're supposed to recognize him. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
The electrician or the welder.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to.
So
they never showed that.
Gotcha.
In the show, but obviously you see it in Aaron Paul, the actor's eyes. He recognized him, so that's when they put it together. So,
all right.
Yeah, no, it was very, very good. My brother asked me, and so to answer this, on this level, I haven't seen Breaking Bad. Would I be lost? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have no idea.
It's a direct continuation, picking up minutes after the ending of the series.
And that was the biggest question that I had was, is it going to pick up right when the series ended, or is it going to be 2 years in the future?
Awesome. It was very good. Before that, Simone Biles. I feel like gymnastics still has this weird cloud, though. So while she's accomplishing so much, whenever you mention, USA Gymnastics, and look what she did, it's mired under this cloud of
Larry Nassar.
Well, and even they're suing, and they want the entire United States Gymnastics disbanded because it feels like it's just filthy and corrupt from top to bottom. So, good for her, though. I don't know what constitutes the best gymnast ever. I mean, I know she's won a bunch of medals, but does she retire now? Is she going to be back next year?
Does she make a lot of money off of that?
Good question.
Like, can she just be like, I'm retired?
She can monetize her appearance and likeness and everything. I just don't know how far that takes you.
Yeah.
Before that, Shepard Smith, surprise sign-off on Friday from Fox News.
It was weird, right?
It's come up recently. I mean, you see those clips of him saying, hey, just so you know, this is this, and people saying this other thing are dumb.
Yeah,
well, those people saying the other thing were his coworkers and different hosts of shows.
He's definitely gone against the grain a bit at Fox News.
Yeah. So pushed out, asked to leave, supposedly asked to leave.
Supposedly he asked to get out of his contract.
It's also the day after Rupert Murdoch met with somebody in the administration, and then the next day, I don't know. It's all. I don't know if it's good or bad. You're happy for Shepard Smith because obviously there was some butting of heads there.
Where does he pop up, though?
But you're also like, man, he was kind of the non-opinion guy.
Yeah.
At that network.
So I wonder how long his contract was for.
Yeah, because obviously he won't be on TV for a while, based on however long his contract was for. He mentioned it in his sign-off that he won't see him for a while. He'll pop up somewhere.
But you don't think he's going to CNN, do you? Like he's completely swinging the other way?
I can't imagine, but I don't know what he would do. I don't know. He'll be on another news network.
Yeah, he'll do something. He'll do a podcast or something. He'll probably write a couple of books and make millions of dollars.
It's a head-scratcher, though. A real head-scratcher with him.
Yeah, because the first thing that I think is, there's some kind of controversy.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to come out and say that, like a Matt Lauer type scandal.
Ugh. And lastly, Halloween music. 'Tis the season, Steve. You get the Rob Zombie albums. I'm sure you're playing those on repeat.
Oh, yeah. Love them.
You got the Monster Mash. Now, what did we say? The Monster Mash, Ghostbusters theme song.
Love Potion number 9.
Potion number 9. Black Magic Woman. I Put a Spell on You.
Oh, yeah.
What do I have in my... Because I have a Halloween playlist, Steve.
I'm not surprised.
Thriller. Obviously, for
Thriller,
God's
yeah.
sake. Don't Fear the Reaper. Blue Oyster Cult. Werewolves of London.
Oh,
Zevon. Bad Moon Rising. Some CCR.
I don't really consider that any of that.
It's not. I mean,
other than Werewolves of London, yeah, I associate that with Halloween. Thriller, yeah, but like Bad Moon Rising, no, that's not a Halloween.
No,
song.
I have over the years just because I've listened to. I listen to it during the season, and obviously it kind of thematically fits. So love it. Love it, Steve.
Fast, fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is little Evelyn going to be? What is she going to be for Halloween?
What's that?
What is she going to be for Halloween?
I'm not sure. I know Annette's going to pick up a costume for her when she goes.
You're not turning off the lights. You're gonna.
Oh, she's turning off the lights. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be gone.
You guys are the worst.
She's going to hide down here in the basement.
Oh, you are the worst.
All right, a couple similarities on our list. El Camino.
Yeah, I'm glad it happened. It was nice. It was good to see. I really enjoyed it.
Simone Biles.
Hey, yeah, that's
2 for 2.
Sure means something somewhere for her. I hope she can capitalize and make a ton of money. I really do, because I don't know how else they survive when their gymnast careers are over at like 22.
Gronk.
Hey, he's not an analyst, man. Let's not try to make him one.
What's crazy is that everybody is really reading into it and saying, well, I mean, Gronk basically said he's going to be back.
Right, he just,
all he said was, well, if I have the passion to come back, then I'll come back. But if I don't, I won't.
Yeah.
Like, why would he? He's already got, 6 Super Bowl rings?
Got a lot of money.
He played for 9 years.
Yeah.
And 6 of those years, he won the Super Bowl.
Or was close. I don't know. No, because Brady hasn't even won 6.
I thought Brady had 6.
Brady has 6, but he won those first one, like 03.
Okay.
But Gronk still has 2 or 3 and was the highest paid tight end in football, highest paid tight end in history for a few years there. So,
but it's been... Actually, we'll get to that on the turnaround. Next, Matt Lauer.
Does it matter? This is the same description and same complaint that got him fired.
Yeah,
2 years ago. So, and again, I'm not dismissing this at all. But is this a new criminal charge from that assault?
It doesn't,
or is it just in this book?
Well, because he hasn't been charged with anything.
Okay, so if it's the same description, I don't know why it's back in the news. I mean, I guess she came forward and her name is attached to it now, and with a more vivid description that is appalling.
Mm-hmm.
Lauer, I don't even know if he had cause to release a statement.
Yeah, it seemed I'm sure he was getting pressure to release a statement, but man, that guy's just disappeared.
Yeah,
I mean, 2 years almost, and you haven't heard a peep from him.
And I don't think you will. I mean, at this point, how can you bring him in on? He's not going to be.
He's not going to be hired anywhere.
No, how can you bring him in as on-camera talent anywhere right now and not catch the wrath of millions of people?
Yeah. And finally, Samuel Little.
Oh wow, you stumped me.
Samuel Little is a man that He's now being referred to as... Hold on, I want to read the actual quote. FBI confirms Samuel Little's confession.
Yes.
He is the worst serial killer in U.S. history.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'll hold my opinion until My Favorite Murder does an episode on it.
This guy has confessed to nearly 100 murders.
Already in prison for some murders.
And they've confirmed 50 of them.
Yeah, and they said there's no reason to dispute any of the other ones at this point.
And he apparently has like I was watching a short piece, I think from NBC. From NBC News, where he vividly describes a handful of his victims. And, I mean, in some cases, these happened 40 years ago. And he's like, oh, yeah, I remember her. She was wearing a cream-colored skirt, and it had a red stripe. And her name was so-and-so, and she had curly hair. Like, he's remembering it like it was somebody that he talked to 5 minutes ago before he walked into that room. And he, his photographic memory, he's sketching out all of his victims, and now they're using his sketches to try and solve cold cases, because the images that he's drawing, they're so clear, like they're so accurate that they're now using them to say like, oh, this looks like this person.
What turns inside of you after this many years in prison to say I should tell people about this?
Man, what I want to know is like what triggers, like how old was he when he realized,
right?
Like,
would you read a book by him?
I'm different.
If he decides like tomorrow to work with a biographer to write a book, because he can't monetize, he can't make money off of it, right?
Oh well. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, once you're convicted of that crime, you can't. It's the same thing that happened with OJ whatever. Yeah. And
it's weird. I'd be interested just to see like how
does he describe what was going on?
Just like I'd be interested if to read a book by like Steve Jobs or something,
right?
Because those are. Not to compare the two, bummer for Steve Jobs, but like it's just somebody whose brain works completely differently than the average person.
It seems so nonchalant, and the more terrifying thing is that obviously police weren't out looking for the most prolific serial killer of all time.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the reports that the most prolific serial killer of all time is missing.
Yeah.
So they had no idea that any of these were even remotely connected. And
because they were all across the country.
Yeah. And it's like, what do they say? At any time, there's a certain amount, there's some large number of active serial killers around the country, because it's nearly impossible.
Yeah.
Well, if they just move, hey, I'm in Arizona,
if you jump around,
I'm in New Hampshire. Yeah,
if you kill someone in Florida and then decide, let's move to Kansas City.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, God, that's terrifying. So scary. I think, the creepiest part was just watching him, the way that he just nonchalantly described what he did to these women and their appearance, and it was just terrible. Before that, Matt Lauer. Speaking of another creep,
I mean, again, I don't feel bad for Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer's been done for multiple years, like you said. So, do you think this news breaks, Thursday or whenever it did? And
he's at his house in the Hamptons, like,
come on,
doing Sudoku.
Yeah, because his wife did his wife leave him?
Yeah,
she did.
Yeah, oh yeah, they were done. She left him like the minute that the story broke.
So at this point, Matt Lauer is what he is, and so this comes. Oh man, I gotta release one of these again, and now there's going to be paparazzi or whatever outside of the Lauer estate trying to get another image of me. Man.
Yep. Apparently he's taken to TikTok.
Oh, has he? To reply.
He's been, because his daughter is on TikTok or whatever. Oh. So he's showing up in a lot of her videos that she's posting.
What? It just seems like the details of his whole saga at NBC News are only going to get worse if more information comes out regarding it. I mean, for all of the, hey, yeah, he assaulted women, he did this and that, there weren't, in many instances, this vivid of a description of what happened.
Right, yeah.
And for Matt Lauer, he looked at that and said, hey, you know what? I admitted to, doing a lot of these things, but this one, no, it didn't happen this way. And man, it's all so gross and
All right, before
he'll
that,
never reappear. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
This isn't Brian Williams where
he moves to MSNBC. And
is
he still on, by the way?
I believe so. But this isn't that case. This is the end of his career.
Isn't
right?
that crazy that Brian Williams,
most respected newsman in the country,
lied about being
on a
helicopter when it was under fire.
Okay,
ousted, and still he's back on the news, but no one has heard from him.
He got ousted after that report, and I forget the difference in years. But Lauer, those reports of having the weird door lock button and complaints about him having, sexual liaisons with, people underneath him in the company ladder. Nothing happened until it became public years later.
Yeah.
Scumbaggery all the way around.
All right, before that we had Grunk.
Yeah, listen, people like the aloofness and the charm of old farm boy who made it big and was just, I like hit things, me football catch.
Look at hot chick.
That doesn't mean
69.
he still needs to be on my TV, man. He's not.
I mean, I don't blame them for hiring him.
Right, he's a name.
That. Yeah, exactly.
And it's the same thing as you could be the worst head coach in football the last 2-3 years. Pretty much any of these TV networks are going to, hey, why don't you come sit in our studio and opine about football for 2 hours on Sunday? Mm-hmm. It's. I'm sure there was a bidding war regarding him, and I guess good for him to cash in. But he's not going to give me any analysis that I care about.
Simone Biles set the record for the most medals in U.S. history?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. So I think I could be way wrong. I think she's announced that next year will be her last Olympics because those gymnast careers, again, are just absurdly short.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't even know it that sometimes you're like you've witnessed the greatest in their field, and here we are, her presumably the greatest in her field, and the news items regarding her in the years are. Shouldn't smile very much.
I know, it's not
like
ridiculous.
What? It's so silly to me.
Yeah.
That's the discussion around her. So.
And finally, El Camino.
Yeah, a thrill to be back in that universe.
I enjoyed it.
Absolute thrill.
I really liked it.
Very positive reviews all around.
Yeah, it's funny because when it first ended, I was like, the other night when we were watching it, it kind of ended, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
And then, within a half hour, I was like, no, that was good. That was really good.
Yeah, there were some really cool moments in there. So, yeah, if you're a Breaking Bad fan, definitely highly recommended.
This was supposed to be a short episode.
Yeah, good God. I got to go pick up my son.
Oh, you should do that. Is your parents just, leave him outside?
Yep, out in the rain.
All right. Well,
you got to learn to fend for yourself, man, okay?
Yeah, exactly. All right, on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Steve and Kyle. You can review the show, and maybe we'll do a 2 minutes of awkward conversation coming up soon. We haven't done that in a couple of months.
Yeah, it's been a little while. We got to check in with our friend Dan Scheich on his re-listen of the show as well. A lot to get to that we have almost steadfastly refused to get to.
Yeah. All right, talk to you next time. See ya.